What's up, everyone? My name is Matt. This is actually my first video, so welcome to my channel. Today, I just wanted to tell you a story about how I quit smoking. Um, my goal is to, if I can help someone else quit smoking, that would be awesome, or inspire someone. So if only one person quits smoking because of this video, success. So just to kind of give you a little bit of a backstory, I've been changing a lot in my life lately. Probably starting probably starting a couple years ago, but really a lot in like the last 6 months for sure. But yeah, my whole life I started smoking when I was real young, 12, 13 years old. I was stealing them from my parents, and I didn't get addicted to cigarettes at that age, but as I got older, I think maybe towards the end of high school, and then into yeah, after I graduated, was smoking a pack a day, and I'm fast forward. I'm 33 years old now, so I smoked for a majority of my adult life, um, and I'd never tried to quit smoking once. It wasn't like I was trying or thinking about this for a really long time. I had battled with like quitting alcohol was really tough for me. Um, and a couple other things, but the main thing was cigarettes. I never went a single day without smoking cigarettes. So it was one I thought was going to be impossible to quit. Um, so I've been meditating a lot, and I think that's a big major thing because it's just you almost do things subconsciously or without any effort. Things just happen, and that's kind of how this was. So that's why I think this story's kind of cool, and I wanted to tell it on here. So I'd been meditating. I've been following like Joe Dispenza's one that I'm really into following. And I had been meditating at night and sometimes in the morning. Really hadn't seen much change in my life yet, but this time had I'd gone into work that day. I forgot my lunch, so I usually pack my lunch. Completely forgot. So I was like, okay, well, what am I gonna do on my lunch break? I can go get food, of course, but I've been trying to eat healthier, so like, Taco Bell or any fast food did not sound as appealing. So I was like, you know what? I had watched a video about fasting, just like scrolling, saw a video about fasting and like health benefits because of it. Didn't really think much of it though. Then I forgot my lunch, so I'm like, hey, I'm gonna go out and do a meditation in my car, and then kind of go from there. So I do the meditation in my car, come back up into work. I'm ready to start working again, and I just decided, what, and I smoked a cigarette over that lunch break, and until that point did not even think about quitting smoking cigarettes. So I didn't wake up that morning like with the plan, none of it. So I come back up, and I'm go back up to work, and I'm just like, what, I'm gonna try out fasting and see what that's like. And I didn't really think of like what all that meant. I just knew it was like not, it was only water for some different amounts of time, 24, 36 hours, up to 72 hours. Some people do it longer. My goal was to do 36 hours. So I said, okay, so I'm not gonna eat or drink anything except for water um, for 36 hours. And I didn't really think about cigarettes, but I was like, you know what? I'm gonna not smoke a cigarette for 36 hours too. So, fast forward, as I'm starting to get hungry and think about like what was, I started getting cravings and stuff. It wasn't cigarette cravings. It was like I was hungry. Um, so it was almost laughable because I was only thinking about food and I just wanted food. And I started, basically smiling inside, realizing that, I didn't even think about smoking a cigarette. It was only, I was only craving, my next meal, or, so I just at that point I just knew that I didn't need to smoke anymore. I didn't plan on it. It just came to me, and um, so from there, that was little did I know that at that lunch break, that was my last cigarette that I smoked. I've been around it. I've been, um, I've smelled other people's cigarettes. I know there's one of the things I love so much is I don't smell like smoke anymore. That was like a thing every day. I always smelled like smoke. Now when I'm around someone else, I'm like, oh, that kind of, it doesn't smell that great. I've taken a couple puffs of the cigarettes one night. Ended up just not even finishing it. Didn't sound good at all. I've thought about doing it in other forms or fashions, like um, the pouches or other things, and I was just like, what? I went through the whole like detox phase, which by the way did kind of suck. At least for the first 4 days, it wasn't great, and especially that 36 hours I was off of caffeine, which was kind of made my mind a mess. Nicotine and food all together. So to get through that 36 hours was kind of crazy, but I was so glad I did that. And then you realize what's important, because when you take everything out, you kind of realize what you want to put back, and what all my bad habits that I had. I was like, well, we're not putting nicotine back in. I don't need that, and I realized I didn't need it. So, it was just amazing to have that almost moment, and start to smile inside and just say, what, for the after however many years it was that I smoked cigarettes, I just don't need to smoke anymore. So it's just kind of crazy. That's just one thing that's happened to me so far since I've been meditating. But I'll tell you what, I'm changing everything in my life. It's almost night and day. And it's like every aspect of your life, uh, from health to, um, just my diet. Changing my diet has been crazy. I know I used to drink every day. I was a bad alcoholic. Um, every day I'd wake up, my eyes would be red. Um, I just you can just look at me. I feel so much better. I'm healthy, and I don't think I've ever felt like this in my life. I have a long way to go, and I think I'm gonna make many more videos on like how I'm doing it, what's working for me, and in hopes that I can build a community of people that are doing the same thing, or help some other people out, because I think we get so many of the people that help us, but nobody shows like the process of like what's actually going on. It's like they show after they've already gotten to the end goal. Well, what about how'd you start? What was the beginning like? So this is me in the beginning of my transformation. I hope you guys enjoy this. I hope it inspires someone else. And if it does, let me know in the comments. Really, really want to hear back from you guys. Appreciate you. I will say, after the 36 hours, once I started eating again and all of that, it was tough. I would say for the first 2 weeks, I had real tough cravings. I had trouble sleeping a little bit. Um, it was tough to, I did have cravings to smoke cigarettes again. I actually ended up filling that by overindulging in another bad habit, which didn't help. I found out in the long run either, so I had to cut that out. But you know, um, it wasn't easy the first couple weeks, but now it's like I don't even think about it. So it's definitely something, I think anybody can do it. It's not as hard as you think it is. When you're addicted to anything, it seems impossible to quit until you do it, and then you just look back. I know there's a guy I work with, real cool dude named Mo, and he was highly addicted to vaping, and he saw me quit smoking, and I don't know if that was part of it or if he just did it his own way, but he quit too, and we talk about it, and we both laugh about it, like can't believe we were even addicted to cigarettes, like so dumb now that we look back on it, but in the time it was like, once when you're young, you pick up habits, and you don't even realize how bad they are for me until I'm into my 30s. But hey, you live and you learn, and as long as you learn, um, so I'll say what I did while I was still in that first 36 hours was just kind of, I did it at a time where it was a Friday, so I went into the weekend, so I had time off. I just stayed in bed for and I was just kind of on my phone watching, learning about what the health benefits of fasting were, because at that time I just was only thinking about food. So for me, I just kept like giving myself more of a reason to continue, which is like learn why this is good for me. So there was essentially your body goes into um, a mode. I think they called it autophagy, and I'm no expert for by any means, but it starts burning off sort of like the excess stuff in your body that you hold on to that you don't need. So it kind of gets rid of, takes out the trash, if you will, and really, a lot of health benefits to that. So I kept on going, and I got through that 36 hours of it, and after that, then the cigarette craving started creeping in because now I'm full. Now I'm not thinking about food anymore, but I still have the cravings, and that's when I just learned about the health benefits of not smoking cigarettes. And it's actually kind of cool because you feel right off the bat in the first 2-3 days you feel a lot different. You feel a lot better. First thing I noticed was just blood flow. Just you don't really notice that your blood is flowing slower when you smoke every day, but you notice when it moves faster. Like it's just a noticeable difference that your heart's pumping easier, and just everything's moving better. And I'll tell you what, I wouldn't want to go back to smoking just because of that simple fact that it felt like my blood was slowing down. And I think that's a big thing from meditation is you become more aware of like yourself and like how you're feeling and how your body's working. Um, your nervous system. You're not really mentally thinking about all the time, but you kind of when you meditate, you get really aware of like each part of your body and how you really feel. And so that's something I wouldn't go back to smoking just because of the way that I feel nowadays. I have more energy. I feel like I can do anything nowadays. So yeah, I wouldn't go back just for that. So this time quitting, it wasn't. It's different too because I don't even remember the date. It's not like I was like mark the calendar. I quit this date. I don't. I honestly, it's probably been 2.5, 3 months since I smoked my last cigarette, but I'm not counting. I think because back when I was trying to quit drinking, it was like you remember the date, and it's almost like you're counting days to your next drink or whatever. If I remember that date, I'm counting the days to my next cigarette basically. So I couldn't tell you the exact date. So it's just a different vibe of like I just stopped doing it. And if I start again, but I feel like I have control over that. So if I smoke again, it's like a choice, and I know that I can quit again. Like for example, with alcohol, I went a very long stretch of time. I think like 14 months, and then I started drinking again. It became a habit again, and now I've quit again. But the couple times I've drank, I chose to drink, but I knew that I wasn't gonna. So I quit the habit of drinking. Not, I can drink a couple drinks here and there, and just I know that I am not able to make a habit out of it. I just quit the habit of drinking. So it's kind of just a whole different vibe of just like I stopped. I have control over it. I brought back control over myself, which is kind of crazy to think about, but it's when you're in addiction, you don't have a choice or a control at all. Or, that's how it was for me at least. So yeah, I feel like I got back control, which is just crazy. I've never, I haven't felt like that really ever. So you know, this channel, I want to, I'm doing a lot of things, personal fitness, of course. I'm doing a lot of things that in the meditation space. Um, some learning about vitamins and how to just dieting and overall health. And it's like you can't. For me, I'm trying to improve my whole life, and that starts with inside my mental, my physical health, and then everything else sort of aligns from there. So I'm on here to kind of tell the story and hopefully inspire others to do the same thing and realize and get out of addiction like I did, and regain control because it can be done. It's not nearly as hard as we make it seem, and it's just so much better on the other side. So if you guys like this and want to see more videos, want to see let give me some feedback. Let me know exactly what stories I should tell. Is it do you guys want to hear more about my personal fitness goals, um, meditation goals, or just kind of sum it all up? Because I'm probably going to make videos about all of it and just see where I should take it. And I honestly don't even know where it's gonna take me. But I know that I know I'm gonna just trust the process and allow things to just happen because that's how it's been so far. And I definitely have a lot of things to work on. Um, and I know that, but I'm sort of just allowing the process, like trust the process and just allow things to happen naturally. The harder we try to make it happen, the more we repel that thing from actually happening. The more we just kind of trust the process and just say, if it happens, it happens, but I'm okay either way. Is a huge mental switch from the oh, I need this to happen, and why is this not happening to me, and this whole like way of thinking that I had before. Now it's kind of, well, let's focus on myself, and then whatever else happens will happen. But I know if I focus on myself, I'm gonna be okay, no matter what. So everything else on the outside, it doesn't matter as much when you just focus on me. When I just focus on me. So